All right, welcome back, everybody. It's the Changing Diva set review. I'm still here with the usual suspects, Tetra and Eden.
Hello.
Everyone.
All right, yeah, same thing as usual. Today we're going to be going over White, and um, as you can see, these are the ratings. Once again, these are just our opinions. Be kind to us, and we're gonna just jump right into it. So, our first card is the White Elrig, Akino Bound for Valor. It is so it's no limit locked, like just pretty much like everything we're gonna be seeing. During your opponent's turn, your Signy in the center zone gets plus 2k. It's an on-play draw enter charge, just like Karana, and then it has a once per game to down two level 2 L rigs to and discard a guard to bounce two of your opponent's Signy back to their hand. Um, I've seen this actually be played quite a bit throughout like the couple of tournaments I've been in, and in my personal opinion, it's like a worse Harana because like bouncing the two lanes is like it's good because it denies enter and it opens two pockets, but I don't think it's ever been like as impactful as like the two damage that Harana provides with hers, and not to mention you're shifted into white, so you lose a lot of that like that red package that Harana had, and I don't know, I'm not like too big on this card, but I want to hear your guys' opinion on it.
I'm not.
Uh,
I've been looking into every single L rig on this set, trying to build something around them. And this one is basically the only one that I can't really see too much of a point. I don't know. It's as you were saying, it's like a worse Hirana. I don't have many thoughts about this card. It's just I don't know. It's a pretty card, but I don't know if it has more than that to it, to be honest.
well, um, I haven't built anything with this mainly because I'm lazy, but I I think it's like is interesting at least because you have the first like it's even a splashable card because the no limit team like if you're not playing the no limit team you're actually getting rid of a malus because randomly boosting your stuff is more of a malus I find. And yeah, it has the first part Irana has, and as Karada said, you can deny enter with this, and it might be interesting in a meta where there's Xenocluster around and you can't go to the top as much or not as effective. But playing this, you give up on some of your red stuff in your deck, so you wouldn't have as much of a removal package. Like you surely play Romel and Lancelot if you're just gonna build an unlimited team, but like your red package is not as effective. And so the way I would play this, right off the bat, is just a defensive kind of Akino that tries to push damage on a specific turn, bouncing a couple pieces. And I've mainly seen list of these with Libra, Cassiopeia, and Saturn, but I'm not really into those kind of builds because like it's just something they do on turn 3, and I don't know. I can't really tell because I haven't, as I said, I haven't built with this rig, but I didn't because like the premises are not really good, in my opinion. But it's an interesting rig.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I think like the defensive like archetype of it is pretty cool, but other than that, I'm not really sold on it. I do like the board state you can put with this with like Cassiopeia, but I'm just not a big fan of the card overall. Like I because it's in no limit, I still think it's like a 3 and it's in white, but uh it is just like yeah, it's just a worse Harana in my eyes.
Yeah. I kind of want to come up with something for it, but I don't know. It's as you guys are saying and everything. I still give it a 3 because
It's
of
a 3
those
for me too.
reasons. Yeah. I don't see many people play this that much.
Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and check out the next one then. Oh, I suppose I'll go. Yeah, no, I think this card is just like unplayable. Pay 5 and
I mean, it's fine. Like, it provides some form of defense, but
I don't think it's like relevant enough because like okay, so the whole point is
it's
is that
expensive. It's
it
expensive.
stopped 2 attacks and yeah, like I said, when we look at the next one, it's definitely like just inferior in terms of like what it can do versus what the other one can do because for
Yeah.
pretty much the or for the same cost, it's able to effectively what this thing's trying to do, and it can do it in a better form as well.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just feel like this one just falls too short
Maybe
of the next one. I just feel like
and
I'm
maybe
not
if
sure if
you
it is
find
1 or
yourself
2, but yeah, go for it.
yeah, if you find yourself during testings ending up on paying 5 anyways, or I don't know, like because you if you use disrespect, which is the next one we're gonna look at, if you end up paying stopping 2 attacks every time, like it's more disrespect is more flexible. But if you end up stopping at 2 attacks, you're probably paying 5 because Lovit can't afford the discards as much. So I don't know. This might come in handy if you like. It really depends on how you end up playing, because you might not dig as much, and this might do something. I don't know. This
Hmm.
is probably a 2
Mm,
for me. Like it's not
yeah,
unplayable.
yeah,
That's
I'm
fair.
a bit between 1 and 2. I can, I don't know. I just really like the next one much more.
Yeah, just sounds better.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It
All right.
looks really better.
Let's go ahead and move on to the next one because I think it's obviously the one worth
Yeah,
talking about more.
Yeah. So the next one is MC
yeah.
Lion Disrespect. It's basically a better. Well, I've seen people say this is even a better Madoka clap. It's basically you pay to
Is
grow, target Signy or opponent's field gains, this Signy cannot attack until the end of turn. And then you can discard 2 cards, give the same effect to another Signy, and then you can pay a white and 2 colorless for another Signy. It's basically instead of dawning, you are making the cards not able to attack. It's just a way better effect. Well, way better in a sense, but it's just
slightly better.
better than Madoka. And then between the two like level 2 lions assists you have, this just helps a lot. I don't see myself running anything else than Madoka Clap right now and probably in the future as an assist in a diagram. And this is basically one of those examples. This is just a really good card. You can choose whichever, how many lanes you want to stop, what do you want to pay for, like to use, what do you want to pay to use the effects and stuff like that. I like this card a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too. It's just flexible and it's just like Madoka Club, which we know is good.
Yeah, clap is like what carries a good part of diagram, and it is like a really solid reason why diagram is so like strong, especially in this set because they have clap and nobody else does. And
Yeah,
I don't know, like just to me, I think like this exact like kind of like profile for a assisto rig is like exactly what you want. It's 2 to initial grow is already a solid cost, and then you get 2 very cost effective alternatives to be able to stop. And the fact that it could stop 3 lanes is like it's a crazy card, and it leaves them up. So all your up removal is live
Yeah.
once you do that. Like I think this card's a 5. I think this card's like a staple in any um if you need a
I
white assist
think
rig, I think
it's
this card is gonna be
good.
like the first choice.
Hmm. I feel like it is a staple too. The only reason I'm not giving it a 5 is that I don't think it will change the meta that much. People just need to be aware that people would already be aware of Madoka Clap. So
Hmm.
they just need to be aware that there's like if they're playing against Card Jockey, or if anyone has a lion as an assist, they will be aware that disrespect will be 99.9% of the time the card there will be running there. So since there is already a thought on players' head on, like, all right, that's a Madoka Clap. I know I have to do this, this, and this, and be aware of this, this, and this. I think it's just they just need to apply the same thought for a lion assist. That's why I'm just not putting it as meta defining.
I am giving a 4 because, like, of course, is a staple in the deck it's played in, but I don't like the rest of the deck. Like, I don't think the deck this is played in is meta, but I think this is meta in deck. Like, I don't know if you all can, if you all figure what I'm talking about, but I don't like Love It as much as I like Lion Center. So
Hmm.
I don't know. Probably this works better in a context of just splashing the white color in some other build. If you make a dream team with, I don't know, mono white or something. Someone did that in the reverse ceremony,
Yeah, I guess in the
and
context
I
of
don't know.
being
This is
a
a really good splash.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I suppose in the context of like this format, yeah, it's definitely a 4. I don't know how future formats like or like go, but I know because we're gonna be going into like a more Dream Team like centrified like meta game. And this is like a
Yeah.
choice for YL rig. I definitely think that's like something that people are gonna use a lot, and so that's why I feel like it's like pretty broken in that regard. But I guess the same can be said for a couple of other ones that are like fairly strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and move on. All right. We have MC Lion stand up. It is target one level one Signy on your field. He gains once per turn. When the Signy vanishes the Signy through combat, you stand the Signy or up it. Um, so this is like in the line of just level one assist all rigs that get you that extra or that open that extra lane. And this one's like this one's worse later into the game. I'm not sure, but I mean, like, there's like a baseline rating for these things, and I think they're always like a 2 or a 3. So I don't know. This one's just okay.
Mm, yeah, to me too. Like I see more people using Lion Dig because, like as I said, Love It doesn't dig as much.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know if we can make the argument of these worse later in the game because you're not gonna use this later in the game.
yeah. I'm
But I
just saying
don't know.
like the
Like yeah,
like if you're like
yeah,
building like an Akino to bounce something, you might use it on turn 3, whereas this one you kind of have to use it before
yeah,
turn 3. Yeah, that's my only
yeah.
argument I can make. But um, yeah,
Yeah.
it's very okay.
Also,
It's
it's
nothing crazy.
better. So it's better opening the lane in the second turn of the game better than it is in the first turn because you're gonna use Love It like if you on McLion Center and you're gonna use Love It the first turn. That's a bad play because the second attack might get stopped, whereas it's better opening 3 lanes or
Yeah.
trying to open 3 lanes on the second turn. Also, you get rid of bigger stuff on turn two. Even though you also wanna go first, so I don't really know.
Yeah, I just feel like
We
depending on what you want to like go with this one or the next one, This one is like works better if you want to just go like full on aggro,
Yeah.
just start attacking early. The other
Yeah.
one is just what we're gonna see next. But yeah, I feel like this one is just if you wanna go more aggro, just attack faster on the early game, just go with this. The other one just helps the overall uh deck itself, just how the deck is supposed to be played with the piece
Mm-hmm.
and such.
All right.
But
Ready?
also, like if you're opening two Zhaoyuns, etc., and your opponent plays two 5Ks, you can't play this card. It's also a
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's worse in that regard too. Yeah.
But, yeah, not
All right.
just opening a lane. So we can go to the next one, Mech Lion Dig. It's the second level one for the assist of Lion this set. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to one signet that shares a color with your center, and one that doesn't, and you add them to your hand. If I remember correctly, right? Yeah. Add the reveal cards and put the rest on the bottom in any order. So just one red and one either green or white. It's just a good digging tool. So yeah, it's just that it enables your first turns. Also, 5 cards is like not 3. Like it's a good number, 5 cards to look through.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it unbreaks you. Is a good digging tool. Probably a staple for me in this deck, in my opinion. Just because of the resources it gives you that the McLean stand-up doesn't, is really good. Also, yeah, I've seen Love It players struggling with their end,
Yeah, that's
so
true.
this is fine.
I mean, yeah, Baby Dig it's good. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
basically as I was saying
this card is
before.
good
It's
smile.
yeah, it's just as I was saying. Just the other one is more aggro. This one just helps the overall deck itself.
Yeah,
Just
this sets up your punchlines and stuff
filtering.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, just filtering everything and such.
good card. We'll give it a 4 and a happy face.
Nice, thumbs up.
Yeah, literally. There's not much to explain. It's a +2. It deck thins. It's a nice card. It's good.
Yeah.
We like these. uh, all
Nice
right.
artwork.
Yeah, we're good to
Stuff.
move on.
Oh, all right, all right. So, all right. So the next one we're gonna start with the Signies from this set, the white ones. We start with Yaikiri, full armed, Harmony, one red Elrig, and then once per turn, when you guard, you draw a card, and whenever the Signy attacks, you may pay a white and a colorless, and if you do, add target Signy with Guardian from your trash to your hand. I don't really know if this card has any space in any deck. Um, what can you even play this on right now? You can play it in Card Jockey.
You can play it in
No,
in Akina Center.
I can
I,
yeah,
I
just
I think
go
it's just
act.
meant to work decently with Akino, because the rest is just slap this card on board to get effects. Maybe like I don't know, if you use Rose Quartz, then it's just like you're not very likely to discard two to draw two. Uh, like these you get effects. Rose Quartz you don't, and they both 12k. If you have card to waste, one per turn trash Rose Quartz and slap this on board. Is tube cost is
I
I don't
think
know.
like if you're always able to play this like directly on turn 3, I feel like you're always gonna resolve it because I don't think most people would like contest this, especially if you put it in just like a lane where it's gonna threaten a Signy, um, as opposed to damage, so they have less incentive to actually kill it. Um, But I mean, I like the overall design of the card. Like I like that you plus one on attack and then you refund your guard, which is it's like a cool design, but it's
Yeah.
like less practical in like overall. But it does like
Yeah.
it does help the
There's no
like get the
space.
guard engine and stuff like that. So it's okay, but I don't think it's unplayable, but I don't think it's like good enough. I don't think it does enough. It's like a 2 for me.
I think there's just no space for this
Hmm.
because to see it, you wouldn't play one. You will go on the 2 copies, 3 copies. I don't know. I don't know. Like even cost 2, like any cost to me sounds expensive. Hmm. I will give these a 2 but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ge- Getting a guard back sounds good, like if you have more honor, but at the same point, I don't find guards useful as much. Like, rather than keeping 2 honor and having one more card that is not this card.
Hmm.
It's a very cool design. I will agree on that.
Got anything to say, Eden, or?
I don't think I have much more to say. It's just um some people might want to run like one or two of these. I don't know why they would, but I don't think the decks right now can just manage to pay two to just get a servant
Hmm.
back, because there are
It's
a lot
good.
of other effects that we prefer to use, and these that like the decks that can run this don't have green, unless you're doing like a dream team right now. But yeah, I don't feel like there are like any team decks right now that can afford to play this just to get a guard when on attack.
Hmm.
Because you want to be using effects to like filter your deck or to kill your opponent's signies or do stuff like that, and just to get a guard, a servant. I don't know. I wouldn't personally use it. There might be one or two people that like to run this at like a one or two off. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
It is good for Akino players. You ensure you're using her effect.
Yeah, that's true.
Other than that, it's just an enabler for that, which is like good for the deck, but overall not as good for other decks.
Yeah, when we
Mhm.
get to black and blue, we can talk more about like the concept of like putting like these kind of units in front of like lanes where they're less desired to be like banished. Because obviously that's what it's trying to do. If you put this in an open lane, it's definitely gonna die. But there's a concept for these kind of cards, and we'll talk on it more later. But um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. I think we're good to move. Um, okay, so this card's pretty sick actually. I kind of like this one. So this Cassiopeia, Natural Planet Queen. This is a Cosmos. Whenever this attacks, you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, and then if you reveal 3 or more level ones, the Signy gets plus 3k and gains a Shadow Signy. And then at the beginning of your main phase, you can pay a white and a colorless. If you do, you bounce one of your opponent's Signy back to their hand. Um, as far as like the Cosmos archetype goes, so like the whole level 1 build around, I do think this card's kind of cool because it's a 15k body that has shadows to Signy, which is pretty much doesn't die to any removal as far as I'm concerned. I think the only one it would die to is
I don't think it dies at 20.
it dies to streak, I believe.
Double, like,
It
yeah, it does.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing that actually
It's also
kills this.
uh, or two black spells.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If you really
But
want to go into that.
and yeah, if you have this with like Akino, it's like a 17k, which is kind of cool in the center. But I do like the overall design of this because although it's still playing like this whole defensive thing, which like isn't that great. I think is like for the defensive like archetype. I think this is like one of the better cards for it. And the fact like if they let it live or if they can't even remove it in the first place, you get the removal the following turn. But I don't think it's anything like amazing, but I personally think it's like a cool card. So that's just me though.
To me, it's just I3 because yeah, it's good for as you said, it's good for the defensive decks. Also, you don't have to play as many removal options to actually push for games somehow. Because if your game plan is for this to live, then next turn you will have pay two to bounce one, and yeah, it's just a wall that doesn't go down. Like even I don't know, bank decks that wanna go Lancer on these, maybe even them should struggle dealing with this. And yeah, or the overall like Saturn packages. Like we had Saturn with Libra. Now we have even Casio. I don't know. It's just one more option, and it's just a defensive option though. So like the whole deck has to revolve around this and Saturn. So you would have to commit your whole deck, and I don't like the deck per se, but for that kind of deck, this is a good option. Sure.
Yeah, well, I guess Cosmos might be an archetype later, stronger one. This is just goes into the level 1 stuff that we have going around. There aren't really many people playing it, but it's just a good card if you want to play on that same line. It's just
Yeah.
overall nice effects and all that you guys said about it.
All right. Cool. Let's go ahead and check out the next one then.
Okay. We have White Beta, Phantom Aquatic Beast, level 3 10k. During your opponent's turn, as long as you have 4 or more cards in your hand, this Signy gets 2k power and Shadow Signy. This is basically budget Argin, right? This is
Yeah.
just budget Argin. Like, it's the same as Argin as long as you have 4 cards. And I think it's actually a decent card because you don't have to commit to your life burst using Argin, but Argin's life burst is actually one of the best life bursts we have in the game right now. So like, we'll have to ever like something going on in our life burst if we don't want her to be in our life burst. And we also have to ensure we have 4 cards in hand, like pretty much all the game, if you want to ensure this is better than like choosing this over Argin.
Mhm.
So I don't know, like even for budget players, because Argin is what now, 2025. This is an option, an actual option. You go against Madoka and probably this does nothing, but you have an option that doesn't cost $25.
Mhm.
And yeah, as I said, for the life burst thing is good.
How about you, Aiden? What do you think?
Well, it's just another shadow card that white doesn't have enough already. uh, it's just a if you are able to get enough cards in your hand, it's just 12k with shadow. Uh yeah, I just feel like it's a nice enough card, to be honest.
The diagram
And
player.
just
Ah, man, it has shadow.
yeah, just give shadow to everything in white, so I literally can't play against it.
uh,
I feel like it's a 3 for me too.
Just,
It's just so many shadow cards. I don't. Ah,
um, I
I
think this
can't
card's
stand it.
pretty decent. I feel like the only way you play this, if you're not on a budget, the only way I see this like actually being like put into your deck is either because it doesn't have a life burst, or if you're trying to play more than 4 Arcwin. And to
Mm.
me, that doesn't like
Yeah, that
that won't
too.
come up as often because 4 Arcwin's usually enough because this thing is already a level 3 and Arcwin's like the superior copy of this. Um, however, uh, if you are trying to do something like that where you're trying to make like these like tanky board states early, um, having like maybe like the extra 2 copies of Arcwin is probably good. Because I feel like you'd only put like maybe like 2 or 3 copies of this. But other than that, I currently don't see any like large uses out of this. So like to me, it's like a 2, but it's like something to keep an eye on for later. That's just how I see it.
Mhm. That's true.
But yeah. Um, anything else you guys want to talk about on this one?
Not really.
Okay,
Really?
let's go check out the next one then.
All right. So the next one is Deka Sambashi Code Maze. Level 3, 10k. Whenever the Signy in front of this Signy attacks, you move this Signy to another Signy zone. So basically, just empty the lane. And at the end of your opponent's turn, you may pay 2 white. If you do, return target Signy in your opponent's field to its owner's hand. This is just if you really want to save this card. But you're basically letting them, well, or you're moving this in front of a lower power Signy, or you literally just want to protect this and put this in front of something that has attacked already. But do that to just pay 2 white to bounce a card. I figure out. I just guess it goes with the Akino Center effects to bounce stuff, but it's still a 10k dies to a lot of things. Well, if you're playing against No Limit, it just instantly dies. If you're playing against Diagram and if they have enough stuff in trash for Landling, it dies. I don't think I see this card playing that much. It's just again just paying 2 at the end of your opponent's turn. You need to wait the whole turn if they don't kill it. I don't think I have much else to say about this. I don't see it played that often. Unless you just want to go Akino and keep up the bouncing effects. Just because.
I just think it's
Yeah.
bad.
I don't want this card on my board.
Yeah.
I don't want this card on my board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either in my mind or my deck list. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even want to
Yeah.
enter charge this.
Yeah. It's just it's not good enough. It doesn't do the whole moving thingy is like
Doesn't
funny.
stop
It doesn't do
anything.
anything. But like if your
Yeah.
opponent doesn't like kill this, then they're obviously playing something wrong or they're doing something wrong. So I don't think this card will ever resolve unless like there's some spooky stuff going down the line. But yeah, not a good one.
I mean, if your opponent makes lets this live, like lets it stay on board, you're already winning. Like, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if
exactly.
it's
Yeah,
this card or another card.
yeah, that's yeah.
Be an
Okay,
annual. You
let's
didn't
let's
even use the interfactual.
let's go on to an actual good card. Okay,
Wash.
so this is Simforce Code Maze. When a Signy on your opponent's field attacks, if there is no Signy in front of the attacking Signy, you can move this in front of that one. And it has a life burst to target one of your opponent's Signy, gets can attack and draw a card. So something we've life burst we've seen in the past, and an effect we've seen in the past with Noburitsu, the green level 1 Signy that does the exact same thing. But this is better because it's white and it's on level 2, so and it has a bigger stat line, so it actually can uh, block some stuff. And there's a very specific wombo combo with this card, thanks to a good friend named Dusel that told me about it, and it put 1 card into light. And I'm actually gonna like get the picture of it and move it over here because it's actually kind of relevant to me. But look at this Wombo combo. um, so for anybody who doesn't know, basically you can pay 2 for illusions and lightning, and you can give 5k to this thing, and it'll be a 13k. And if your opponent doesn't somehow remove it, this can stop pretty much all attacks on like turn 2. If you have like, let's say you have like 2 open lanes, and you play this, pump this by 5, it'll become a 13k, and then it can just keep moving around the board to stop the open attacks.
On this beaker.
Why is it going to gotta be bigger?
Just to cover stuff.
Simple
Uh,
math. But yeah, I'm just gonna take it out now. But yeah, Wombo
Hmm.
I mean,
combo.
are we playing Illusions of Lightning?
Okay, me,
Eh,
I wouldn't. But if my sole intention was to exactly get that play off, then like, yeah, of course I would. I don't think it's
yeah.
practical, but
Exodia.
it is an option. Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible that kind of play goes off, especially against like, let's say let's say you put more potent units up on the field, or even at best you have 2 of these, and your opponent just can't fully clear the everything, so they go like kill this, kill one like another level 1 or something. Then like, hey, you're pogging out with this card, dude.
I mean, if these cards leaves to the battle phase, it's already a win for me.
Yeah, and sometimes
Even
it
if they
does,
beat
right?
over it first. No, like I love this card. Like this is my really top 5 cards of this set. It's the only card I wanted like to somehow splash into No Limit along with Phoenix, and I ended up not using any of these, but I'm playing 2 of these in Lion, and okay, it really feels good when newer players or people that just like in the early stages of this set just didn't want to read the cards.
Yeah,
Okay, that's an 8k too big to do anything. I'll just avoid using this option here, and like they will leave this on board. Go to attack phase. Yeah, so I'll use my C-Force effect to move here and stop 2 attacks. Good, good.
yeah.
Yeah, like the life burst is really good,
Hmm.
and even just like if you have space for this, is really good because even if like it's a threat anyways. Also because it's an 8k, so really hard to remove. Like is in the one gap where it was 8k or 10k didn't matter because it will die to Deafening Inferno anyways. It dies to the same option whether it's 8 or 10. Yeah, it's just a really big body. If people don't read it, good. If people read it and can get rid of it, good. And yeah, I really like this card. Actually, but though with Illusion of Lightning, if you think this is not the right moment to play Go to the Top, like in Lion, if you think it's not the right moment to play Go to the Top because there are too many Xenoclusters, and you don't want to play Xenoclusters yourself, you go with Illusions of Lightning. You actually do.
Yeah, I think it's a legitimate
Like you
option.
can play
So
this like I don't know turn 3 or something. Yeah. Let's bump Illusion of Lightning to 5.
nope.
No. Oh, okay.
That card
No.
is like a
Okay.
one like a 1.5 for me now, just because of this specific combo. But I don't, it's definitely not worth higher of a rating. 6. All right,
Like
how do
even
you feel about this one,
look at the
Eden?
artwork. Like they're firing with flutes. Something like
Oh,
doesn't get
6?
better than this. Yeah.
I
Give 7.
can give a
Were
10.
you thinking about it? Ooh. I like it.
Nah, I think it's
For real.
like uh
Not meta
3,
because they remove
4.
it, just because of this.
Yeah, it's like 4 because you can have that combo, but I don't know. I don't play the
Your
green one we
opponent
were
is in
talking about
trouble.
earlier anyway, so
Yeah, no, I think
yeah.
like just like if we're talking about this card in a vacuum without the whole illusion and lightning like BS, uh Like this card is still like on its own very solid because like it is a threat like Tetra said. They still have to consider this
Hmm.
because like it will stop one attack and it could stop like if they put like double crush on something and they don't pop it then they're gonna get punished for it. And the life burst effect
Yeah.
we've
Right.
seen this with Niji Sanji. It's already a good life burst. So yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
I actually stopped the double crush with this.
I know I saw it on video, I remember, or like in tournament.
or, oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, I was there for like the last
Right.
part of it. But yeah.
One of the best anime moments for me.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
it's just
we're
helium gas, helium probably, not gas. Helium that it's an 8K and you have to remove it somehow,
yeah,
bouncing it
exactly.
or
Yeah.
beat over it. It's a threat, but
We talked this card up
not
quite
as
a bit.
good.
It's a good card.
Yeah. So next card is that me? Yeah.
Yeah, it's you.
Dersenius Natural Planet. Yeah, it's a level 2, 7K. Enter, pay one color less. Look at the top 5, reveal a level 1, and put the rest on bottom. Yeah, reveal a level 1, and of course add it to your end, but same. And I've seen some people playing this. I don't like this card though, because not just because it can whiff, but I don't know. Like I think your build has a problem if you need these to dig for your stuff. Like it's not really a good level two. Also you're really tight on level twos. Like if you're playing this, you're clearly playing card jockey because like why would you dig for stuff? Like there are surely better options in decks that are not card jockey for level twos. And I don't know, like you just have your annuals, your good digs, etc. You don't want to give up on playing Lancelot or Seam Force or Gawain for this, in my opinion. I really like this, to be honest. But I get people play this for getting in some more digging.
Um, this card is just a +1, and I think it's like okay, it's a +1 on a body. I think the big thing about this
I mean,
card
you
is I
pay
can
one.
add a if I were playing this, well, I actually have like made like pre-made whitelists, and I've like slotted in two of these for like random cards. Um, because like I mean the thought of just check 5 and then maybe add a shield is like appealing enough to me, for one
Yeah.
enter, but it's not anything like over the top. I don't think it's like bad per se, because you usually are going to be on like a large level 1 line if you're playing this in any other white deck that's like not Lion. And so, yeah, I don't know. To me, it's like a 3 just because it's just a normal +1. You could splash it in like any build. I don't think it would like tank your your build around because I don't think there is no build around. If you're playing like 14 level ones, your odds to hit this are pretty like decently high. So
Yeah. I mean, it's a plus
Yeah.
one. You pay one though. Like in terms of
Mm.
cards, it's a +1. But
yeah, it's
Mm.
fine.
Yeah, I just feel
yeah,
like if you're playing a Cosmos deck, you basically if you're playing that other level 3 that came out on set 1 or 0, I can't remember, that every single card in your deck is counted as a level 1. You can basically pay 1 to grab anything you want. Um
I didn't even think of that.
yeah. I feel like Cosmos gets a bit more 12. It gets a bit more used later on. When we started looking at this card, you guys were talking.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to say this because this is just making me even more dumb. Um, I was looking at the card after this one, and I was like, "What the hell are they talking about?" And then I realized, wait, I clicked one down.
Gotcha.
oh,
But yeah, I just feel like this in the Cosmos. Sure, you can grab anything in your deck. If you're playing in Lion, you just can just grab a level 1. It's basically another a cheap like a cheaper version of Heniel without life burst, and then you can only grab level 1 Signis. So,
Hmm.
well, Haniel is level 1, so I'm getting sidetracked here, but yeah.
This card adds Hanio. It's broken.
Yeah, I think for this card, it's just very appealing that you can add the guards
Yeah,
possibly.
Hmm.
that's the biggest. It's
Yeah.
top five,
Yeah,
so like your odds are just
yeah,
they're pretty good. Yeah, I think this
yeah.
card's pretty
Hmm.
decent.
Yeah.
Let's uh let's check this next one out. Who is this? Is this Eden or this is
Yeah,
Eden?
it's mine. It's the one that I was looking at
Oh,
by
okay.
mistake. Uh, so it's Cersei, Blessed Angel, Signy, level 2, 10k base. Only has a life burst that says add target Signy with Guardian from your trash to your hand and draw a card. It's basically a +2, but I don't know. It's just a life
I
burst
hope it
ability.
is.
I don't know. I would be. I
You know how
don't
it
think I would
goes.
be using this.
No,
But
Eden, you gotta give us the real opinion. Why do you why why don't you like this card?
why don't I like this card? Life bursts are shit. I can never get a single freaking life burst properly. I
uh,
think it's just funny that on the first game of this month's tournament, -1. No, no, no. It's just minus. It's just below a lot below that. It's just that I in the last games I played with Diagram, I was able to grab a few, not many, but some nice life bursts.
mhm.
So I'm a bit better on that, but I still don't like to run cards just for life bursts.
Yeah.
In
Uh,
like the
Yeah,
majority of it,
that's the thing.
It's 10k base though. So if you wanna run like a deck with walls, sure, play a level 2 10k. But I think there are better options in life bursts than this for white, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, as
I
far
mean,
as
it's
life
white.
burst tech goes, like, or that's what I like to call these the vanillas with just like good life burst. I like to call them life burst techs. Um, as far as this one goes, it definitely doesn't do enough in comparison to like what it's competing against. I mean, if we're not talking about white, you have stuff like Folklore, you have the um the other red one that's level 2 that like pops like a 10k or less. Or I think it's an 8k or less. There's C10 and stuff like that. Um, and while adding a guard is very appealing, this also requires you to have a guard and drop in the first place. And in the early game, it's definitely significantly worse because your odds to have a guard and drop are just a lot lower. It means you have to be like going first, and you would had to have already guard. And so yeah, and if this card is on like the top of your life cloth at the beginning of the game, it is like guaranteed to not go off, and it's just a draw one card, which is like not worth having in your deck. Whereas something like a Folklore would at least get to tap one thing down. So yeah, I don't think this card's good.
I mean, you haven't played the Wickers enough if you haven't triggered like Servant as the first burst without having guard. Yeah,
Fair.
it's a baseline experience,
Yeah, true, true.
and yeah, it's a good trigger for the fact you can also draw one, but yeah, like it doesn't even stop attacks. That's a thing. Like Folklore is played because she stops attacks.
And
It
draws
doesn't
you a
even matter.
card.
It's two attacks necessarily.
Yeah, she can end
Yeah,
a whole
draws
turn.
you a guard, but I'm not hoping for that, to be honest. But yeah, it can also add a guard, but I don't know. I'm looking for guards anyways.
Yeah,
I I don't want to rely on this to do guard stuff, and yeah, in general, just I think it's just better stopping attacks. Like we have Seam Force.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Let's talk about it. Like we have Seam Force.
yeah.
It's
It's
kind of
just
better.
it's just better. Yeah, has
Yeah.
text
Also,
and stops
level
an attack
twos.
and draws you a card.
Level twos generally like are fewer than level ones, and level threes, and usually are already taken. Some spot is already taken by staples. So I don't know, like Lancelot, like
Hmm.
I don't know, other kind of level 2 removals or utility cards. Yeah. There's just not as much space for this, but it's a decent card. I wouldn't be that harsh on this. I will give it 2. Is it black? White. Okay, I can't. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter.
Black, black.
It's a 2. Let's go. Let's go
Don't
on.
castles. All knows it, you.
Is this my card? Uh, okay. This is Tortorisa, Code Maze. It is a Mectone Labyrinth. And when a signal in your opponent's field is put into the trash, you enter charge 1. Uh, what?
Good to go on.
What does this work with? Aside from like
Doesn't.
the random like,
Just done.
there's like random assists that send to trash, but like what?
Great reversal. Like in some
Oh,
effects
broken.
do
You're
send
right,
stuff.
dude. It makes it up 4
Yeah,
cost.
and there's charge 1.
Yo,
Broken.
Tamago's back on top.
You're right, no.
I want to give this card a 1. I don't think there's anything to talk about here, by the way, but I want to give this card like a 1 for this set. But like, if there is actually like more white removal that's trashy,
Yeah.
which sounds hella broken, this card's like a hot 2. But for now, it's I don't see how this is playable. That's wild. This is a
And it's just as any other card that states send to trash, either your opponent or your cards. Just might see play, not today.
yeah. It is a little bit notable that it works on your opponent's turn too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I don't think there's like anything to talk about with this card for now. Maybe this card will come back up later.
And it's a 1k.
And it's
It's a
1K.
1k also.
Let's go. All right.
It's calling my 1.
I'm glad I got basically a
My
vanilla
1
to talk
vote.
about. let's go check the next card.
Yeah. On next card, it's Kogitsunemaru, lightly armed. Level 1, 3k, constant as long as you have another Signy. This gets 4k. You may pay 1 light, one white. If you do, return target on your opponent's field with 8k or less to its owner end. This is. I like this. I dislike this at first, but it's a decent trigger and decent body on board because like the only weakness is if you play other bad level ones somehow. You have to like this has to have a really good mate on board to survive because otherwise it's just a 3k if they remove the other one. And that's kind of the weakness about this card. Like if you have 2 Zhaoyuns on board, it's better than having these and Zhaoyun, for example, just because they can just kill 1 Zhaoyun and roll mail this or do something else, even just Lancelot, etc.
Yeah.
And yeah, I will play this for like the option you have to play bigger bodies,
Mhm.
and like if you don't have any better one option, and also it's a decent trigger, which also denies Enter bit. Maybe you don't want to bounce a specific Signy, you rather like just kill them. But for 1, bounce 1 to deny Enter and remove a piece off the board, it's good. Also, we'll see these being played in Akino too. Like it looks like an Akino style, type of card.
I just feel like this is another one of those 7k level ones that we already have a few.
Yeah.
We
They've
have
been
7k
lines
level
with
ones.
Yeah, we have Hasi that you need 4 cards in hand for it to get
Yeah,
plus
yeah, 4 cards
4k.
in hand.
We have
Yeah.
Camelopard that you need 3 or more different types on your enter. And then we have this one.
We got Melissa.
I think
for
Oh yeah,
Basic
the
Eight.
angel.
mhm. Yeah, I think these cards can be good if you're playing them on the right deck. Just some work better than others in certain places. This is just a card that might see some play. The life burst, it's not that bad. could be better, but we can't forget that it's a level 1 and a door just slammed shut. Uh, but yeah, I think those are my thoughts on this.
I don't have much to say.
These are
It's
big too.
I like these
Just
7K level ones personally. When you're not playing a deck that like looks to be able to remove cards on turn one. And I've played with the 7K level ones before. I used to play them in the Tamago deck during last set to be able to prevent stuff like Romel and Lancelot. Um, so it's pretty nice. I mean it is more vulnerable than something like Hossie, but on turn one. But I think it's good
yeah,
either way. And the life first is pretty notable. It's not exactly
yeah.
Sita, but it's like Sita, but worse or better the way however you want to view it.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
I mean, with stuff you don't pay with, you feel good and you feel bad when you have to pay like I don't know 2 for Bal, which is
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
remember -8k or no
Minus
-12
12.
Minus
for Bal.
12k. I don't like a life
The
burst from
diagram
ball.
expert.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be
Yeah, but
honest,
you kind of have to play that, and that feels bad. Like this feels average in the end, like
hmm
the life burst, but it's a decent removal. It's a cool removal, and without the life burst, I wouldn't be playing this. But
hmm
yeah, like so we end up in the argument of I don't play cards for life burst. So for me, it's a hot two. Because like it's an option for level ones, but if they just kill the other Signy, this just a 3k and you can do nothing about it.
Yeah.
yeah. On my just talking about these level ones that can go to 7k. I'm as of right now, I'm playing like 2 and 2, 2 2 Camelopar. You can use them in different situations. Hasi is better in like early game, Camelopar in late game if you really need it. Uh, the only thing I see about this card that I don't like too much is that you need to have another Signy on the field,
Yeah.
but sometimes you are just able to do it.
Yeah.
It's just that if you're getting a full board or 2 cards on the board, like turn one, you usually want to get 2 level 1s on the board so you don't get like 3 damage in on the first turn. So it's a nice 7k that if you put like with a vanilla double color, it's a 5k or another one of these. It's just two 7ks. I just like level 1 7ks in general, to be honest.
Yeah. Me too.
They're good options.
Hmm.
All right. Let's check out the next card.
All right, I guess this one is mine.
Yep.
It's level
Peace.
1 Signy. Pele, Blessed Angel. It's an angel. You pay 1 and rest it. Return another target angel Signy on your field to its owner's hand. Well, do I really need to talk about this card?
Oh,
Like, sure, you can bounce an angel to just use their enter abilities. I don't know every angel from the top of my head. I don't know if they have like really good enter abilities.
If
and
you
you
want to think about this card, or yeah, I can help with this one because I unfortunately have played angels. So um, if you're playing this in obviously in a white angel deck, you have stuff like Haniel and Arkwin, which are the easiest ones you can think of. Um, Recycling those to just dig a little bit more deeper into your deck is fine. But aside that, those two are like the absolute best applications. There's other like ones with blue where you can loot or like draw ditch, and then there's green ones where you can give like on attack effects. But as far as it is now, I don't think it's good. But with more angel support coming out of the future, this is like a card you can always keep an eye on because recycling and on play effect can be like insanely relevant, and I think that's like the best like application. I don't think it's. I definitely don't think it's a one, but it's like it is like a two, and it can definitely be higher later down the line.
I see this being played later on for very good effects. Just as of now, like of course angels aren't that good, and even later on, these might be not that playable because it costs one. Like already downing her means she is gonna be dead. Yeah, like you'll have to trash these to play other stuff. You can recycle effects, which is good.
Well, another
He's
way to think
just
about it
one more
too,
copy of another card.
another way to think about it too is like if you know you're not threatening removal or damage in a lane, that's where this card you could just use as to tap it to recycle that on
Mm,
playability. So it's
yeah.
not the tap can be worse or better some in some niche cases, but I think for pay one tap to recycle a on play effect is like it's not like I said, not relevant now, but it can definitely be pretty relevant later because that is a fairly cheap cost to be able to reuse an on-play effect that can be really strong. I don't know if that happens though, but that's
Yeah.
something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I just don't think is as good. Like just keeping this in a close lane because it's a close lane. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, but
yeah, I get what you're
not all,
saying. I get
yeah,
what you're
not all
saying.
decks
Not every
can open
turn
holes.
you can open lanes.
Hmm.
So you play like fight is not an aggro deck
Yeah.
necessarily. So you just can play this in some defensive build and just keep this on.
Okay. Yeah, I
No
don't.
words.
Well, yeah, he
We
didn't.
make
He's
numbers
even.
speak.
I spoke for us on this one because I do think there is like minor applications to
Yeah.
it. But yeah, let's.
Yeah.
The next card is definitely
As
something worth talking about.
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we are.
So we have a Shade of Bravery. This is a pay one white. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, target a Signy on your field gets 5k power, loses its ability, gains Shadow, and this Signy cannot attack. So at its current state, I definitely don't think this card is like good enough. There might be some weird niche applications for this, but next set, this card becomes like significantly more relevant because there's basically a way in the next set that you're not going to be attacking with your Signies, and so because you're going to end up resting them for a cost for something. So this card basically ensures that you can have multiple Shadow on the field to tank up on board, and even at that, like 5k power of Shadow is pretty good. Like just on most, you can even put this on a 2k, and it'd be like fairly solid and um, like can't be able or wouldn't be able to remove it because this is just straight Shadow. It's not Shadow Signy, not Shadow Spell, not Shadow like Elrig or anything. This is straight up hexproof onto any Signy you like, which is I think that's like insanely relevant. Um,
Also, it's shadow from your turn. It doesn't even trigger on your opponent's turn, so it can't be removed. It's just straight up a wall. If you can use
yeah,
the signies you have for Costa, they just stay there. 15k, 17k, you stay there.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like this card to be honest. It's you pay one. It's not that expensive. The
hmm
least you can pay for something, and uh, and like even if you just want to have a wall, let's say just you wanna kind of skip a bit of the early game, just have some walls on the field. So let's just say your deck is like a really late game deck. You can use this to just have walls on the field for a few turns. I guess that's an option for now. And then, as you said, next set you will get more options to use this on.
I've seen the cards mentioned by Scarada. Like I don't remember any of them, but I remember this gets pretty good. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
remember exactly the mechanics you're paying for, but yeah, this is gonna be relevant.
It's still not
Yeah.
like like a staple or anything because like
Now
if
it's
you're playing this, it's
an,
usually like a copy or two or like probably like 2 to 3 copies, but
yeah.
it's for a for a one cost spell, it's like it's pretty good.
Now it's a one. If you see this in hindsight, it's a three. For next set, it's gonna be a 4/5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And yeah, that was actually the last card of this of the white. So um, we will catch you guys in black, and then we'll be doing blue last. So we'll
That
catch
one
you
has
guys
a
in black.
lot.
Yeah.
See you next video.
Bye bye.